This is my crash damaged 1999 Porsche 911 that I purchased back in February of 2024 with the intention to build back to its former glory. In addition to this car being crash damaged when I bought it, we also did not have a key and it hadn't started in about 12 years. I bought this in South Carolina and trailered it all the way back to Pittsburgh on a nightmare of a trip which honestly tested my sanity. Needless to say, I am beyond over this. I just want to get this thing home and I want to be able to go to sleep because I have not slept. Since then, we replaced the door lock assembly, replaced and coded the key, which required us to pull our inhibitor module from under the seat, which honestly was its own experience, requiring a type of electrical wizardry. Once that was all complete, we went ahead and we got our first signs of life in the 911.
Woo! Fuel. Good morning, everyone. New day, new me. And I decided to get a jump on this real quick. I went ahead, I vacuumed all the crud that was out of here. It was super gross. Today's goal was to get the 911 running. So initially what I was going to do is I was going to pull the feed line off of the fuel pump. And when I pull it up, this explains a lot. Yeah. So we're probably going to need a whole new fuel pump, fuel sending unit. The reason why it was reading empty was because these wires are, well, wires covered in corrosion. And there's 110% fuel in here. You guys can see, like, that's not a little bit of fuel. And when I tried to unplug what is left of these wires, see this debris? That is what is left of the connector that I may or may not have destroyed just by doing this too. Tried to grab that one and it just decided to no longer exist and turned into dust. Also, this smell, I didn't know gas could smell like this. It smells like paint thinner and gummy bears. It has like a sweet scent to it. That might be the fresh gas that I put in there because I thought the tank was empty, which it is most definitely not. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this whole thing unplugged here. And since I don't have a tripod for my phone anymore here, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing undone. And yeah, we're gonna see what's left of this once I get it out. I don't think I'm actually gonna pull the fuel pump out because I do not want to stick my hand in there without a glove because I don't want to smell like this all day, week, month, year. By the way, we're recording on my phone because I was trying to just get the measurement for this so that I could go and get some hose, and on the way to get the hose, I was gonna pick up the camera on the way back and we were gonna do the whole thing. But plans have changed. I don't know, but we'll get back to it. So I finally got it out. That one is quite obviously broken, as you can very clearly see. That's like the bits of it that didn't fall in the tank that I was able to catch. That one actually came off in one piece. So those are the connections. The one that didn't come off is right there. That's the one that came off. You can see these were very varnished. That's not rust. That's fuel. That's like sticky, gross fuel. Probably some rust too. The reason why we were reading empty wasn't necessarily because of the wires. I mean, the wires didn't help, but that's the fuel sending unit. Surprisingly still in one piece up here, but like that's the important part. Yeah. Okay, well that's trash. So I'm not looking forward to getting the pump out because the pump is right there. What those hoses go to. Those dinosaurs didn't go to waste. What you can see here is what's left of the wires. I was actually able to get one of them off. Not that one. What was this one? Actually, no. Looks like they both came off without destroying the pins. Here we are. This is what we have. And if it's not obvious, all of this needs replaced. So we're gonna have to do that. So we're gonna go forward in time for when we actually have parts to complete it. Yeah, this was not expected. Just keep getting surprised. At least the engine turns over and it's not seized like everything in here was. So I'm gonna figure out a way to seal this up. Not that it really matters. And next time you see me, we'll be on a much better camera and we'll have parts to put in here and hopefully
get the car started. Cool. Alrighty guys, we're finally back here with the parts for the car. Now, before we get the parts here, or before we go through the parts here, I do want to get this thing started up without the fuel pump, and the way I plan on doing that is that's with this. So I want to see if we're actually going to have any issues once we get the fuel pump and the pickup in there. This is the fuel sending unit, level sending unit. We have the fuel pump here. Here is a new air filter for the engine, and then the gasket to seal up the sending unit. So we got to get the battery put back in the car so we can at least attempt to try and do that. So let's go ahead, get that, and try and see if this thing will start up. All right, basically all this stuff is still undone, so. The MAF is unplugged, so this might not work well, but it should still start. I'm hoping, at least. Cool. So if you don't know how to use starting fluid, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to spray this into your intake, obviously after the filter, not before it, because you don't want to destroy your filter. But you want to spray this into the intake. Just a little bit should go a long way if you're trying to get your car started. I do not recommend doing what we're about to do because we are about to try to run the car completely off of this. But honestly, I'm just trying to check that it's going to start up. As soon as it turns over, I'm turning it right off. Because one, we don't have any coolant in this car. And two, it's really not good to just run the car off of this. So let's go ahead, get that, and see if we can get started up. That should be good enough for what we need. All right, well, let's see if we get ignition. Right. Well, we got a crank. Let's go ahead and try that one more time. All right, obviously runs terribly, but it runs. Cool, let's get this thing swapped out. This thing out. Let the gasket. Ready? Ah, it smells terrific. Now, according to the interwebs, to get this fuel pump out, all I gotta do is reach down, turn it counterclockwise, and it should come straight out. So, see how well that works. Oh my God, I touched it and it started braking. But it turned counterclockwise. Oh, the lines are breaking. That's perfect because I can just finish braking this one. Pull it out. Look at all of this. Look at this. We got this liquid transfer pump here that we're going to use to go ahead and pull everything out, or most of everything out. All right, turns on. Just need to stick that there. Grab the bucket that definitely doesn't have a single crack in it. Stick this here, turn this on, and whew, look at that. This stuff is orange. Oh my God. Quite literally forgot that the float was broken. Like seriously, I grabbed it and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Broken or non-existent?
It's broken. It's actually still in one piece. Like the float part of it. The bar is obviously not in there. I gotta find the rest of that. This is all the debris. Like this is all the debris that's in the bottom of that tank. I think I got most of it though. The thing that concerns me is that I don't feel the bar
like the rest of the bar. Because there's like a solid 3 or 4 inches in here somewhere. Or at least not necessarily solid, but a dissolved 3 or 4 inches of it in here. Feeling either side of the tank, feeling in the corners. It's just not in here. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. That's probably what all this debris is. That dissolved metal. That's wild that it dissolved the metal and not the tank. Also, this tank is not a plastic housing with a bladder. It's just a plastic housing. I don't know why people think there's a bladder in this. So, there's a whole bunch of debris down in there that I mostly got cleaned up. I can't clean up all of it, but yeah. So, I got most of it out. That's all that really matters. There's a bunch of really gross fuel in here that I can't get out without dropping the tank. It does look like there is some type of coating on the tank that's coming off, which is next to impossible to see on the camera, but it's gonna be quite difficult to get all that out. But I'm sure at some point, whenever I decide to go full in on this, that it will be dropped and properly cleaned. But until then, we are gonna clean we are gonna swap out the fuel filter once we get this car to the shop, because it's like dead center of the car. So it has to go up on a jack. But in the meantime, to take care of the bad fuel that's still in here, we're not gonna be able to get away from all that sediment down in the bottom for now. But as far as the fuel, we're gonna go ahead and use this stable, and just to try and stabilize the last bit of fuel that's still in there, which isn't much. Honestly, it's probably like a couple cups of bad fuel. But yeah, this is what you use when you put your car into storage. If this was used, granted, it wouldn't have really done much at this point because it's good for up to 24 months, and this car sat for 120 months at the very least. So yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and put some of this in here. I'm gonna read the instructions to see exactly how much. Probably not very much. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put whatever I have left in the gas can in here after I put the new fuel pump in here, which should be super simple. It was in there like this. I turned it counterclockwise to about that position and it came out. So if you put it back down in the tank like this, get it set on the little cam lock that's in there, it's a little circle, and then you turn it clockwise about a quarter turn, it should lock back in. Then everything else is pretty simple. We got a new gasket over here that's gonna go on there, but this is our new fuel over here. So let's go ahead, get this all installed. I gotta put some new gloves on. You can see old, new. That is a hell of a difference. This. All right, I'm gonna try and just set it until it's flat. All right, so it wasn't quite straight on with the flat part straight. It's the flat part at about 9 o'clock. And then, wait, is that right? Let's go ahead and try and turn it. Yep, turn it. And then the whole thing will be setting at 12 o'clock. All right, so we got the new gasket here, which I will set right there. We got this guy, so we got 1/2 ounce. And we just pour this in here. Use stable only with new fuel. No. You can't make me. Stable in 1/2 ounce for whatever bit of shitty gas is in there. Now it's time to grab the gas can. This gas can has been going through it the past couple days. Alrighty. I love this gas can. I never thought I'd say this in my life. Yeah, that was about 2.5 gallons. So I should have put a full ounce in here. But, I mean, it should be fine, right? I say it. Oh, it doesn't smell like turpentine anymore. Oh, it smells like 95. Lord. Okay, good. I need to go change. Alrighty. Now that that's out the way. Alright. Oh my god, this thing is filled with trash. Oh my god. Oh my god. leaves and dust. Okay, we gotta actually clean this. Oh yeah, this air filter needed replacing. Absolutely. All right, let's clean out the airbox. Airbox. Brand new Molly air filter. Cap back on. Cool. Let's go ahead. There you go. All right, all the fumes should stay trapped in there and not go anywhere. Alrighty. Okay. Here we go. Almost. All right, we might have to get all that bad fuel off the line because I have no idea how much it's going to be. But yeah, let's see. All right, so I think I did what I didn't mean to do, and I accidentally swapped the line. So I'm going to go ahead and swap them back, and we're going to see. I looked at something online where they were saying that the green line goes to the fuel filter, and I hooked up the green line going to the return. So I think I had that backwards. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to swap them up top, see if that fixes the issue. And if it does, then I'll actually do the right thing and swap them back underneath and leave them. But just to make sure that that is, in fact, what the problem is, I'm gonna swap them up top first and see if we get a start. Alrighty, everything's swapped. That took significantly longer than I thought it was going to, but it swapped over. I decided to just swap it underneath because I know it's backwards. So yeah, here we go. All right. That's a much better sign than we've had all day. Look at that. Gas is working, we got oil pressure. Make sure this thing's okay. Perfect. Look at that. Running it. Yeah, that's the smell of that old gas. Whew. Alrighty. We don't have coolant, so let's see. Sounds decent when it's red.
Good, yeah.
All right, we're not gonna touch anything because we're not gonna leave this running because again, no coolant. So we're running now. So now that we're running, we got to check both radiators, which we have the feeds coming up top. If you look way back there where you see that little bit of light, it's impossible for you to see it, but there. That hose right there is our feed to the radiator, to our passenger radiator. And then we have the same thing on the driver's side, which we cannot see because there's a bit of a wheel well in here. But yeah, honestly, the best thing to do here, we have to vacuum fill it because we have like 30 linear feet of coolant hose in this car. Because not only do we have one feed to one side, we have another feed to another side, and then they both go back as well. So you got basically almost 10 times the amount of coolant lines that you would in a normal car. But that's cool. Up a little bit. You can see it's bone dry. Not a single bit. So yeah. All right. Look at that. Well, we officially have a starting 996.
And that is definitely something to celebrate in my books. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video at all, please do leave a like down below. And if you want to see any more videos coming from me about the 996, the 335, or the Nissan 300ZX, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon right next to it so you do get notified whenever we drop a new video. The next video will either be on the 300 or something else. Honestly, I don't know where we're at, but the next time we'll be working on the 996 is when we're going to either getting this moved to the garage or getting the coolant system figured out. So again, hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.